Hey everybody, this is Rob and I'm here for episode 11 of my Parkinson's podcast. And this is going to be a real short video because I just wanted to just put some stuff out there. And it is about living in gratitude and being appreciative of what you have, even when things don't quite go the way you expect them to. I'm in a hotel room, so there's an unusual background on my video. Pretty bland this time, but I didn't expect to be in a hotel room. I jumped in my truck yesterday morning pretty early to drive to a little town called Only in Tennessee, which is right outside of Nashville. And I had volunteered to go work for a week at Victor Wooten's camp. He has a camp where he does music, I say I'm going to band camp or whatever. So he does music lessons and life lessons at camp. And I was lucky enough to be able to go there last year for a week-long bass camp. I play bass guitar, still playing it, doing as well as I can. And that's a whole nother story. But I was halfway to Only, and I drive out of Charleston, South Carolina. And all of a sudden, my truck starts to overheat, and I drive a 2001 Chevy S10 pickup truck. So it's an older truck, but it's well maintained and all that stuff. I didn't anticipate having any issues with it. But right outside of Atlanta, suddenly my truck's overheating. And I was like, shit, because what else would you think? And I pulled to the side of the road quickly and popped open the hood. And nothing looked amiss, and I checked my reservoir for my radiator, and there was plenty of fluid in there. I thought, well, maybe it's just some weird glitch in electronics, because that's how newer cars are. Even though my truck is not newer, it's relatively new, so there's a chip in there, and as we all know, sometimes chips are glitchy. So I close the hood and jump back on the road, and all of a sudden I'm getting a bunch of steam out from under my hood, and a whole bunch of fluid starts flying up on my windshield, which was not good. And I quickly pulled over and waited on the side of the road for an hour for a tow truck to come. And the tow truck dropped me off, and I had a nice conversation with the tow truck driver, and it was about a half an hour drive to the garage, which I didn't know the garage, random garage, closest one to the site where my truck was at on Highway 20 West. And trucks are driving by as I'm sitting on the side of the road. That was quite an experience, I'll just say, because the speed limit there is 70 miles an hour and people are flying. So the people from my insurance company, Geico, I have roadside assistance, and they towed my truck 24 miles to the nearest place. And the truck driver was nice enough, after he dropped my truck off at the garage, to give me a ride to the hotel. So I had to quickly grab a couple things. And what I ended up grabbing was my medication for my Parkinson's, and a bag that had like my supplements in it. And I also grabbed my bass, because I'm not leaving my bass. It was the most expensive thing that I had in my truck. But grabbed that stuff, and he dropped me off here at the hotel. And I didn't have any clothing with me. Everything was in my truck, and I dropped my key in the slot. So I had, the clothes on my back, and then I realized that also all of my toiletry items were in my other bag with the clothes and stuff. So I didn't have a toothbrush, and I didn't have, anything to change into, and I couldn't get back into my truck. So I ran across the street to Walmart. Luckily, there was a Walmart pretty close, maybe 1,000 steps away or something. And I went there and picked up a toothbrush, and I thought, you know what, tomorrow's going to be the third day that I'm going with these clothes. So I picked up some clean underwear and socks and stuff, and grabbed a shirt. And I found this shirt. And it may seem ironic, but I have to say I feel lucky that my life is going as well as it is, that I am retired from my position thank you, Parkinson's. I certainly did not intend to retire quite this early, but here I am, and I was able to volunteer, which is not coming to fruition now because I'm still waiting on my truck to get repaired. But overall, it's about gratitude. And I just watched a video with a guy who was talking about if the question he was asked was, if you could go back and talk to your younger self, what advice would you give? And basically his advice was, you've lived your life up to this point. You can't change anything you've done in the past. All you have is the future, and you really don't know what you have. You don't know what your future is going to be. I certainly didn't expect to get Parkinson's, and I didn't expect to retire this early, and I didn't expect my radiator to blow, and I didn't expect to be sitting in a hotel room with nothing to do for a couple days. But thinking about the things I can do, this video is one thing. I can talk about having gratitude for the things that are in my life and the people that are in my life, and that things are going relatively pretty well. I've had a great life, and I'm continuing to do that, and I'm going to live every day to its fullest, and I suggest that everybody does the same. I know this is a kind of an unusual episode, but I just figured I'd get this out there while I'm feeling lucky.